while the FCT Emergency Management Agency firm says houses blocking the flood route in the Trademore estate will have to go to avoid future disasters. Director General of the agency, Abbas Idris, said this earlier on Newsnight. To discuss these issues and many more, we are now being joined by Engineer Adewale Adenaike, who is the chairman of Landlord Association Trademore Estate Phase 3. We'll come back to him.
A lot of assessment in that area. Some of those houses, 116 of them were already marked for demolition.
116?
Exactly. And we had already issued a warning for them to leave to a higher ground, so that because those ones are vulnerable too, because they were right on the waterways. And so the resident doesn't want to take it seriously. And the FCT administration had series of meetings with their resident association, telling them what they're supposed to do. And because, you know, some people feel that few years before now, when there was no climate change, they were living freely. But with the climate change, the volume of water has increased, and also the urbanization in the FCT. A lot of places that is taking away the water is now retaining the water is now built. So water has to find its way to where it can go, and where the water goes from here, it goes to Gurara River before it gets to River Niger. So and Trademore is right on the way. If you go through the records of the FCT administration, all the agencies, they will tell you that they have not granted approval for that estate. It was the the area council then that gave them the approval. And when they said, okay, all lands in Abuja goes back to the FCT, FCTA. So all they need to do is to formalize that approval or whatever. But they could not. I know they cannot do it because it is not going to be easy. No, FCTA cannot give them approval to build on that waterway because they have the master plan. So before they must make sure that it is not on the master. It is not on the waterways. It's not on floodplain. It's not on the green area. All this has to be all blocking any channel. So that is the problem, and the best way is for them to really relocate.
Engineer Adewale Adenaike is still here to discuss this issue with us. Thank you for joining us on Newsnight.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you heard the gentleman talking there about the illegality of houses and Trademore estate. I need you to react to that.
Well, thank you so much for that. It's rather shameful to listen to somebody of that position casting aspersion on the development in Trademore, because it's okay for him to feel the houses there are illegal or they don't have approval. But I can't speak for the developer because I'm not his spokesperson. However, I want you to consider this. Now, the houses in Trademore are 95% financed by Federal Mortgage Bank, which is a federal government institution. 1. 2, a section of Trademore in Phase 3 was commissioned by the Vice President, Namandi Sambo, for the benefit of the police. At that time, the Inspector General of Police of this country had a house there. He was living there. And this is supposed to be an illegal construction, illegal development. Maybe you can help me with that, because I don't have enough gray matter in my head to come to terms with what he's saying about illegality, about not having approval. Well, federal government is funding illegality. That's what he's saying. Well, maybe that is true. So it leaves a lot to be desired. So that's my position on that.
Okay, so also, before we go on, bring us up to speed on the casualties in that estate, because I read in one of the national dailies that a life was lost. He said no life was lost. You know, so tell us, how are residents counting their losses now? Well,
you needed to have been there 2 days ago when this happened.
I was there.
You were there, thank God. You saw the volume of water, and you saw the houses that were under the water. But thank God, on that day, we didn't know anyone died. We were not aware until yesterday when a body was retrieved from the drains under the by the gates of the estate. So
somebody actually died.
Oh yeah, we actually brought out somebody because the police took the body to Adewale General Hospital, to the morgue. So that was what happened.
Well, he said that no life was lost.
Well, that's what they know.
Okay.
That tells you what they know about what obtains in the country. So life was lost. A gentleman was removed from there. And today, as I was coming to the station, I was also told that another body was picked up from another estate, which is close to us. If you allow me, most of these things they're talking about Trademore, because in that axis, we have about 74 estates there. And Trademore estate is the largest one. Over 3,000 houses. And then you're telling me 3,000 houses were built out of illegality.
Okay, now, have you had an opportunity to engage a firm or the federal government on this development?
We've had a series of engagement with them. This matter has even gone to the National Assembly. So last year, we lost about 3 people. About 3 bodies were found in the flood. And then we had several meetings with all the agencies of government. And I was part of that. The issue now is this. There's no blame game here. What is important, how do we resolve this? How do we stop people from losing all their life acquisition and also losing their lives as well? That's important, because all this blame game, they need to evacuate, they need to leave. We all know as engineers that we don't need to leave that place, because the problem in Trademore is not from Trademore, and they are aware of that.
Where is the problem from?
The problem is coming from upstream.
Suspect?
Okay, not suspicion. It's coming from upstream. Okay, Piakasa, Lokugoma, from the 9 districts of Lugbe, every water is discharging into Trademore. Then it passes through Trademore and it goes out of Trademore into other estates. Then it goes under the road, under the express road, which has only 3 cells. Now that is ridiculous, because the point is this: it's not going to go through there with the speed it's coming with. Therefore, it backs up. That's what causes all this. And these people, all these government, they are aware of this. And what they want to do is come to Trademore estates and demolish houses. Now, are they going to demolish in other estates around us? Will they go to River Park and demolish? Will they go to NUT and demolish? Will they go to VON estate and demolish? Why Trademore estate? The problem is not, the water is passing through Trademore estate. So stop the water from coming there. And where it's supposed to be going, open the arteries up. So the express, the 10-laner airport road, we need a bridge over that so that we can have enough space for the water to go through. Okay, now they're not doing that.
Okay, are you going to take advantage of the new administration and then come up with a position paper as a community? Because I see that Trademore is a community of people who are well enlightened. So are you going to come up with something like a position paper and then maybe go back to the National Assembly, or if you want to go to a firm, wherever you want to go, wherever you want to approach? Okay. Do you have such an idea?
Of course we do. Yesterday, distinguished Senator Ireti Kingibe actually visited, and she said straight away that she's interested in setting up a technical committee to look at this. Now, what we intend to do is to generate a report, a technical working report, like we did with all the agencies of government, and give to her, and engage the new government so that we can proffer solution. Now, we have a lot of engineers in the estate. Like you rightly said, a lot of technical people are there who can we've sat down before with the agencies and we've told them, this is what you need to do. The lazy way of doing it is demolition. That is you not using your brains. That's the soft option. But the better options are there. How we can divert the water. This issue of you built on water plane, you built on water route and all of that. The whole of UK is on water. London is on water. Go to Amsterdam is on water. You can build on that. But as engineers, we can deal with the direction of the water. That's the whole idea. But they don't want to do that. All we want to do is just come. They came and demolished last year. What has he done? What he has done this year is to bring more troubles. The flooding of this year is unprecedented. We've never seen it. That's after demolition. And they're talking about demolition again. What's it going to solve? You need to solve it. You've got a headache. You go to a doctor, he gives you paracetamol. That's not the answer. What is the cause of the headache? So we're saying that we need to deal with the cause of the flooding. And the cause of the flooding is known to them. So there is need for that to be addressed. So it's no point pointing fingers, because what they're doing by what they're saying about Trademore is to devalue our homes by all these aspersions on the place. The issue is this: we are not accepting that. What is important is, let us sit together. We want to work with them. All the agents, it's not us against them. Let us sit together. Let's proffer solutions. But they cannot come and demolish. That is not the answer. That is not the answer. Let's treat what is the cause of the problem. It's outside of the estate. So let's deal with that.
We're very much interested in this. We hope that you get some of this and feed us back. Let's know how you progressed once you approach them. We can only wish you a fruitful deliberation with them as you proceed in the solution to this recurrent decimal in your estate. And sorry about your loss. Thank you very much for coming to News Night, Engineer Adenaike.
Thank you so much for having me.